We thought it would be so fun to create an opportunity for our audience to get to know Billie. Billie is our operations manager at Stratavis, and among other things, she manages our Fractional Frequency podcast end to end, all of the things behind the scenes that have to happen in order for this to come together. And so I'm super excited to just get into her head a little bit, get to know her, and talk about what it takes to run a podcast. So, Billie, let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. I am a mother of two littles. I love to play in the garden, be outside. I joined Stratavis about 9 months ago and just came in as a business promoter, all things brand, LinkedIn. I'm now operations manager of the podcast. I run everything Fractional Frequency. Love to stay on the back end.
And here we are putting you at the front. But tell us a little bit about, like, what does a typical week look like for you when you're producing an episode, which is every week?
The biggest thing is discovery calls. I try and set up new guests so that we can meet them, get to know you guys. Then we'll write a brief, which is probably the hardest part, getting all the information aligned, edit the podcast, and kind of just go through everything, make sure everything looks clean. Not so many filler words because everybody loves filler words, right? Then going through and posting everything is probably the most tedious, and making sure everything gets out there for people to see.
What is one part of producing the podcast that takes more work than people probably realize?
Editing, for sure. Making sure everything lines up, all the pieces are put together, and there's not too many gaps and cuts in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's so much that goes into that on the back end. What do you think is most commonly something that can go wrong when producing an episode or editing, and how do you handle it when it comes up?
I'd probably be software problems. Everybody has computer problems. Sometimes you just have to shut it down, walk away, and come back the next day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Totally. So thinking about fractional frequency, you've seen all of our guests so far. Who has been your favorite guest or favorite episode, and why?
I loved listening to Ike Nwaba. He was very knowledgeable, smart, knows what he wants, and his product is so cool to listen to. Putting your kids into a program to learn a new language instead of just sitting them in front of a screen trying to listen to that new language. Where my kids are quarter Hispanic, they would definitely benefit speaking to their family in Spanish.
Totally. Yeah, I love that too. Whenever we get to sit down with somebody who has a product that is something where we might actually be like a consumer of it, either personally or professionally, I find myself like even more interested in just getting into the conversation. It's such a cool thing.
100%.
What, from your perspective, Billie, what makes a great podcast episode in general?
Using no filler words. I don't want to hear people say, or even though I say all the time.
It's hard. It's so
hard.
Yeah, there are very few people I've met who have really mastered the no filler and master the pause, right, as they're thinking or pulling their words together. It's a real skill that takes probably a lot of practice to get to.
For sure.
So, Billie, let's end with just a couple of quick hit topics here. The first is to ask for some advice. So if you could give advice to somebody starting a podcast for the first time, what would be your number one piece of advice you would share with them?
Stay organized, post consistently, just make sure everything lines up the best you can.
Totally. Yeah, it's crazy when we look at the workflow chart of all of the things that it takes to produce a podcast from beginning to end. I think it's like 20 touch points or more. You don't just throw up a Riverside link and get onto it and start talking. It's a lot more than that.
Definitely a lot more in the back end.
I don't know what we would do if it weren't for you keeping us on track and organized week
you.
in and week out. All right. So, Billie, finally, just for fun, what is something that people might be surprised to learn about you personally?
I am now a licensed nail tech in Utah. Such a different.
Yes. You are so creative and artistic. I love that you just have so many diverse interests and skills. It is, I think, inspiring. And you do that all on top of being a mom to two littles. So you're amazing. I'm so glad that you're on our team at Strativus. Cheers to almost a year and lots of continued great work in times ahead. Thank you so much for sitting down and sharing a little bit about you in front of the scenes rather than behind them for once.